Hi, ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie Marcus here again. I was just talking to my nephew down in Mississippi, and I was telling him about, he's kind of a young guy. So I was telling him a little history about this efforts that I've been engaged in trying to make this a beautiful world. And I was telling him that I had a conversation with one of my preacher friends in Minnesota, maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And we were reflecting on some things that I'd gone through and we shared. And he busted out and went laughing at the fact that I thought I was going to change the world, be instrumental in changing the world. I couldn't understand why that was so funny. Yes, I definitely. And so I wanted this kid to understand, my motivation and how it moves. And so I'd like to share with you. I told him this. When I was qualified and sent into service, I was so excited. I was so excited because I lived in a world all of my life where there was pain and suffering, where there was crime and violence and all kinds of things. You just think of it and it was happening. But now the time had come when I had been trained and given a message to go out there and tell America and the world that we as human beings could have our needs, our wants, and our desires met. Ladies and gentlemen, woo, I was so excited because I knew that henceforth under certain guidelines, under certain principles, under certain programs, the one that I was advocating, any American would never, ever have to suffer a lack of food, clothing, and shelter. Mm-mm. And they wouldn't be fat because they'd have a wonderful life. Not that there's anything wrong with being fat, but I'm talking about those who are fat because they just don't feel like doing anything. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, education, unlimited and unrestricted. Healthcare from the womb to the tomb. Infrastructure, transportation, anything that you could imagine that come to the minds of individuals. The resources have been made available by the supreme power and the gifts in us to exercise our hands and out of that create all of the things that exist. Oh man, that would offer to all Americans peace to every last one of us, prosperity to every last one of us, freedom to every last one of us, joy of life, and the fulfillment of our dreams. Man, I was so excited. I thought when I went out there and started talking that stuff about making America like that, I thought even the world, you know what they say about the world, I thought the world was going to kind of be excited. They might think that since they talked about God a little bit, that they might have to give up something, but they didn't know. But hey, and what I did, I just knew the church. Well, I'm not naive now, I know the church. But I'm thinking that the message to a bunch of people who have been prostrating themselves in God, they'd be just. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Here's the truth. They ain't me like they thought I was crazy. Or that I thought that they were crazy. I got no support. And I never stopped. Presidential year after presidential year after presidential year, I kept on doing it. Same message. But I thought the people would come at me, come at this message the same way when Donald Trump came out there talking about being president. Well, see, he came their style. He had this big old plane. I guess it was his. He make it set up where the people could see him right there around the plane, making seem the big shot, telling everybody he's a billionaire. That he was so this and so wealthy. And everybody loved that because everybody want to be wealthy. And they can only see it the way that they've been exposed to it. And so they went all after the cameras, the news media, every movie you make, there they were, taking care of business. Everything he thought, they were reporting it. So I'm thinking to myself, look at that. This is what I thought the church was going to do. I thought they were going to come out and say, we're going to make this world right. Why? Because now we got a plan. Well, we know we can do it. Now we got, come on, let's. And now you see what we got, ladies and gentlemen? You got a man in the White House who's destined to do everything he possibly can to avoid any pain and suffering in his own life. And if it means that he would have to take this nation down and 328 million people, he'll do it in a heartbeat without even thinking about it. And ladies and gentlemen, why is he there? He's there because you, the people, allowed him to be there. He's there because you, the people, have been misled. You have been deceived and you have not known the truth. He's there because those who talk to you about God never knew God. They always tell you, my book said. When you say your book said, that means you don't know a thing about God. Because if you know about God, your life would be channeled in such a way that you don't have to talk about anything but what God has given you to do. And by doing it, hey, my brothers and my sisters, hey, but you're not doing that. And you know, we're going straight to hell. But I say no, we're not. Because by the power of God and this one person, I believe we're going to draw others.